just like to say hello from the European people that I'm with, and it's our first DragonCon. It's really great to see you all, so thank you for coming.
Thank you for flying so far.
Yeah, thank you. I've got a sort of twofold question. First for Kate, you said when you found out about being, you were going to be the 5th Cylon, did the rest of the cast know, and how were their reactions when you came back to work? And sort of on a second note, the three of you, obviously not Michael, Michael and Kate, did you ever think that you might possibly be the 5th Cylon?
So my question, I have really short-term memory.
Just basically the rest of the cast's reaction towards you being the 5th. Did they know? Did you?
It was still a big secret. When I got on the set, there was a lot of that, but nobody would talk about it. And you know, people, crew, actors were like, glad to see you back. But there wasn't for a while. Nobody could say anything. It was still, we all signed these clauses, you know.
Do you remember,
speak, you die.
Kate and I walked in solidarity with the writers during the writer's strike. And we were there with Ron, and I think Brandon was there, and David Wettle, and a lot of these guys were there. And yeah, so we walked the line, and inevitably there was some press there. And this was right around the time when you found out you were coming back.
Right.
But there was a long strike, and this was top secret. And we would do these interviews for Space and Sci-Fi Network, all these different channels, and you know, they would be done with us, and after the cameras were off, hey, thanks, you know, it's good to be here, and we'd all say, yeah, you know, we're looking forward to coming back. And Kate was there, she goes, yeah, it's good to be back in Burbank, here, with my friends. And it was, I'm just here just because.
No, and then I'd catch myself with my family.
With my family, yeah, she was, yeah.
Battlestar family.
So many times you
I may be dead,
so close, yeah.
I'm not that dead. You know.
Yeah,
But
you caught yourself.
No.
Yeah.
It was tricky. It was a slippery, long, slippery slope. But
Yeah.
the cat did not leave the bag.
No, we were very good.
Oh, you asked if we ever thought we were the 5th? I did, I really did. There was there was a script, I can't remember the name of the episode now. It was the one with where I sang to my stump. And at the very end of the episode, I remember reading the script, and I was singing, and I was like, why the heck am I singing? This is crazy. Anyway, but then I got to the end, and it said, you know, Felix sings some last line and looks right at the camera. I was like, I think it's me, for sure. But instead, I just took over the ship. Just got bitter instead.
Other side?
My question has to do with sort of gayness coming out on the show. With gay men, their presence on television is very hard to see a lot of times, and a lot of science fiction shows like Star Trek has never even dealt very directly with the issue. And so, how has that impacted you playing a gay character on the show? And have you had many people comment on it, or do you feel like it was an important thing to show?
Yeah, I obviously there was a reaction to it when it happened, and my only concern with it was that it wasn't a token. It was it ended up happening in the webisodes, as you know, that was revealed that he was in a relationship with Koshi. And in the end, I was happy that it was portrayed in the kind of matter-of-fact way that it was. My only concern when they first asked me about that, and I was totally comfortable with it. I didn't claim that I was another Baltar for the whole show. They finally caught on. But I was heartened that it was portrayed the way it was. Hopefully, you were as well, the community was as well. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question to some degree. I was content with it, yeah.
gets complicated when it becomes a quadrangle with Duala's introduction to this. How did that work exactly? Yeah. It's interesting because in the extended cut of Unfinished Business, it's pretty clear that you know you're going to marry a guy who's in love with somebody else, but you do it anyway. Why do you think how do you play that as an actor? Because it's true, you know.
I've been in love with somebody who wasn't in love with me. I've been in love with somebody who's been in love with somebody else.
Not upset. We worked it out. Just like me.
No. Yeah, I thought long and hard about that, particularly for Unfinished Business, and I think,
Oh, we were doormats. Let's face it, you and me. Our characters were doormats.
I was just really waiting for the chance that I would get to make out with Truco.
That's exactly.
For sure.
It's never too late.
No, I thought for sure. I was like, man, Michael's hot. The star's gonna treat him like crap. He's gonna come running into my corners. It's gonna be great.
I honestly thought that would be pretentious.
Fair's fair, right?
I really did.
They hook up, we hook up.
It'll be in the spin-off. And your Star Galactica. That's a really great.
Isn't it true?
Yes. Question from this.
Yeah, but I think that with limited numbers in space and everything falling down around you, you take love the way you can get it, right?
Question from this side?
Michael Hogan.
Yes.
Colonel Tide.
Yes.
One of the most damaged characters I've ever seen on television. Where did you find him?
We need a couple more microphones here for this. Well, everybody's being so funny right now. I don't know how to answer that question. When we started, when I auditioned for Battlestar Galactica, Michael Reimer was the man who auditioned me. And that was a wonderful experience because Reimer loves working with actors, so we had a great time in the audition room. He didn't know much about Ty at the time. He said that they didn't know where the character was going, what they were going to do. We kind of developed that character together. They just knew that he would be one of the senior members, and before the Cylon attack, Battlestar was a training ship, and I was the hard-ass XO. We basically knew he had a bit of a drinking problem. We didn't know what we were going to do with that, how far we were going to take it. But that, so Ty's character developed like, I think, almost all of the other characters on Battlestar Galactica, especially us secondary characters. After the mini-series, and for those of us who were in the mini-series, it was a very safe ground that Michael Reimer and the producers created. It was I liken it to if you do a play, you have 3 weeks in rehearsal, which is the safest place in the world to make mistakes and succeed and cry and laugh. And then by the time the department heads come in, lighting and sound come in and watch you run through, you're able to expose yourself a little bit. But
they're part of the family. And then by the time you get your first preview and by the time opening comes, you're ready, you're safe. You've been in a cocoon-like atmosphere that then you're ready to spread your wings and take on the audience as they come. And Reimer doing the mini-series and the first episode 33 of the first season. After that, those of us actors who were involved in the beginning could spread our wings and we're ready for the directors and different writers that came on board. We were lucky that the writers saw what we had created there and actually wrote to us or for us after a while. So the creation of our characters and the complicated aspect of Ty was something that we came up with together, I would say.